Hey everybody, welcome back to day 18 of our Pantry and No Spend Challenge. And today we're going to be taking our friendship bread starter and making different types of bread with it. So come along and see what we make. So now we're ready to take our friendship bread starters and turn them into bread. So I have all my ingredients laid out here. I'll go over what we're going to use, how much of each one, and we'll get started on making some breads because this is going to be a process for me today. I'm planning on making a few different kinds and we're going to have a lot of fun. So I have all my ingredients out, but before we get into that, I wanted to address a question. Now, somebody had compared their sourdough starter to their friendship bread starter, and I wanted to clarify some things. Now, your friendship bread starter is a ferment, like a sourdough, but it is a very slow process, which is why we have a 10-day feed and squeeze process with no cast off. Now, your sourdough expands in size, bubbles like crazy. You're not going to see the same thing with your friendship bread dough starter. Now, if you look in at your dough, you're going to see some tiny little bubbles, and you're going to be able to see them around the top. You may not be able to see them from the side. If you don't see that, don't worry. It's still doing its process. You're going to be able to smell that ferment as it's going through the days. And when you get to day 10, like we're at now, you definitely can tell that it's a fermented starter. So let me go over what ingredients we're going to use today, and then we can get started on making some bread. So the first thing we're going to do is use our friendship bread starter. I'm going to start with the one that's in the bag, and I'll get to these later today. So we're going to be using a cup of our starter, and then we're going to be adding, not necessarily in this order, but we're going to be adding eggs, we're going to be adding sugar, some vegetable oil, some flour, baking soda, baking powder, milk, vanilla, salt, and for this recipe, we're going to be using cinnamon. Now, there is one ingredient that's optional, but from experience and from in the past, you can use 1 box of an instant pudding mix. Now, this pudding mix is going to be one of the things that is going to change the flavor, the color, and the just experience of your bread. So when I was making these years ago and bringing them to work, I used to have people asking for particular flavors of friendship bread. So we're going to start today. The first breads we're going to make are going to be our standard cinnamon recipe. So I'll be using a vanilla instant pudding mix, but you can leave that out. So let me get this area cleaned up. I'll get out all my measuring cups and spoons and bowls, and we'll get started on separating this out and making our bread. Since it is day 10 of our process, I'm adding my last cup of flour, my last cup of sugar, and my last cup of milk. And then I'm going to partly seal this. And we're going to give Squishy his last process of squish for this round. Get all our sugar, our flour, and our milk mixed in. And once I have that all mixed in, we're going to take this, I'm going to measure out 1 cup measures, and those, at that point, we're going to be making bread with those, but you can make breads, you can throw one in the freezer for later, for a starter to use later. You can give a starter to a friend. You can separate out to multiple starters if you have an event coming up that you want to make a whole bunch of breads for. So you've got some options at that point. But let me get Squishy all mixed up here, and then I'll be right back. Now that I have my dough separated, my starter, I ended up with about 6 cups of starter. So I've separated it out into separate bowls so that I can make some different types of bread today. But like I said, I'm going to start with the traditional cinnamon Amish friendship bread. So I'm starting with 1 cup of my friendship bread starter in my bowl. I'm going to add 3 whisked eggs. I'm going to add 1 cup of vegetable oil, 1/2 cup of milk, and 1 cup of sugar, along with a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. So the first thing I want to do is get those ingredients mixed together. Now that may seem like the amounts that I'm adding are a lot for a loaf of bread, but this 1 cup of starter is actually going to make 2 breads. So I had 6 cups of starter, so that's the equivalent of 12 loaves of bread. So my plan is to make a few different kinds with this starter. And let's get this all mixed in. Okay, so that's mixed together. Now we're going to add 2 cups of flour. And this is not sifted flour, it's just 2 cups of flour. We're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So there's 1 teaspoon and 1/2 of our baking powder. And then we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. There's our 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. There's our 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to add ground cinnamon. Now, depending how cinnamony you like your breads, you can add 1 to 2 tablespoons. I'm just going to be adding 1 tablespoon to mine, and that's from experience and preference. So I've got 1 tablespoon of the ground cinnamon. And then we have our optional ingredient. Now this is 1 package of instant vanilla pudding mix. So from experience, I have found that this makes it a lot moister. I also use a packet of the vanilla instant pudding in with my Toll House cookie mix, and it keeps my chocolate chip cookies soft. So that's just a little tip on something I do. Now we're just going to get this all mixed together. And I have already got my oven to 325 degrees, and I greased my 2 loaf pans. Now, you can grease your loaf pans however you normally do. I use a vegetable shortening for mine. And let me get this all mixed up, and I'll be back to show you another little secret tip to help make your breads even just a little bit better. So I've finished mixing my batter, and what you want to do is make sure that you've gotten out any lumps you might have of flour, because you really don't want to over mix this. I've never used an electric mixer, but if you give that a try, make sure you leave in the comments and let us know how that works, because this definitely can be an arm workout, because this is a very thick batter. Now, one thing that I do that not everybody does is I'm using cinnamon sugar. I'm using a pre-mixed one. If you don't have pre-mixed and you're going to make your own, it's going to be a combination of 1/4 cup of granulated sugar to 1 teaspoon of cinnamon mixed well. I'm using some that I received as a gift from my sister, and it's got the nice shaker top on it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle the insides of my bread pans. I'm going to do the bottoms, and I'm going to do the sides, and I'm doing that before I put my mix in. A lot of people just put it on the very top of their bread, and I find that this gives you that nice cinnamony sugar glaze all the way around on your bread. So I'm going to take what I mixed for dough, and I'm going to put half in each of these bread pans, and I'll be right back with you. All right, so the last step, now that I have my mix separated between the two bowls, is I am going to sprinkle a little bit more cinnamon sugar across the top. Now, if you wanted to add nuts or something into this, you could do that before you separate it out into the pans. I like it just as it is. Now, these are going to go into my preheated 325-degree oven for about an hour. I'm going to check them in an hour. If they're not done, I'm going to go longer by 10-minute increments and check on them. So we're going to start at an hour at 325, and I'll be back with you as soon as they're ready. So I'm going to be testing, like I said, once it's been an hour with my breads in the oven, but I just wanted to share what I use to test with. Now, you can use just a simple toothpick, or you can use something like a kitchen broom that's for cake testing, like I have here. Another awesome gift from my sister, who gives me the most amazing gifts. And what you do is you take it, you stick it into the center top of the bread, and you pull it out. And if it comes out with things stuck to it, all wet, moist, you want to just give it a little bit more time. If it comes out clean, then you know it's ready to come out of the oven. So while those are baking, I'm actually going to start one more of my starters with a different type of bread, and I'll bring you back to see the ingredients that I'm going to use for that one. While our first two breads are in the oven, I decided I'm going to make a batch of Harvest Pumpkin Friendship bread. And I figured I'd show you the ingredients I use for that. I won't go through all the other process of pouring it in the pans, but at least share those ingredients with you. So let's get this started. So I've got a cup of my starter in my bowl. And again, I'm going to add 3 whisked eggs. Now this time I'm going to only add a half a cup of vegetable oil, because I'm also adding half a cup of my homemade applesauce. And that's going to help keep this bread a little bit lighter, as it's a pumpkin bread, which is normally denser anyway. Okay, I'm going to give that a quick stir, mix it together so that that's fairly well mixed. And then I'm going to add in my cup of sugar, like we did the last time. And the difference with this is once I have my sugar blended in, I'm going to add in the equivalent of a can of pumpkin puree, which is 14.5 to 15 ounces. I'm using home pureed pumpkin that I had in my freezer that I needed to use up, that I had thawed out. So I've got just under 2 cups of my puree, and I want to get that added in before I put my dry ingredients in. So we're going to get that mixed in with the rest of our wet ingredients plus our sugar. Now, if you have some favorite friendship bread recipes that you make, I'd love to hear from you on what those are. Now, friendship bread can be made into something sweet, or it can be made into something savory. So you've got some options out there. So now that that's mixed, I'm going to add in my 2 cups of flour, like I used last time. And then I've pre-measured my 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to add those. And now, because it's pumpkin, I'm going to be putting in, instead of cinnamon, a tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. Let's see if I can get that measured out without making a mess. This is always the fun part. Same with cinnamon. There we go. So I've got my tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. Now I'm going to do the same as I did with the other mix. I'm going to fold this all together, mix it well so that I don't have any clumps, and then I'm going to put this into my 2 pre-greased pans. Now with this mix, it's up to you if you want to do the cinnamon sugar or not. It adds a little bit of extra flavor to that bread, and it gives that nice crispy outside glaze onto your bread. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to get this mixed. I'm going to get this into 2 bread pans and get that ready to go in the oven as well. And I'll be back. All right, so I'm going to test these. It's been an hour, but it's coming out very wet. So I'm going to put these back in for another 10 minutes and then I'll check them again. It's been another 10 minutes and I'm going to check them again. And it's coming out clean. So I know these are done. I'm going to get these out on a cooling rack, put another set of breads in, and keep going. I ended up making the 2 original cinnamon, 2 of the harvest pumpkin. I've got 4 banana done with a banana cream pudding for that flavor. And in the oven, I still have 2 more loaves, and those are a pistachio, which is actually Steve's favorite, but they still have about an hour to go, and if I'm going to get this video uploaded for you guys tonight, I need to get this wrapped up. So let me take one of these loaves, cut it, and I'll grab Steve, and I'll have him give you his idea of how these taste. Well, I kidnapped Steve. Such a difficult chore for him to taste test. But I wanted to show the bread is so soft. It just squeezes and presses, and it really just bounces back. This is a very nice, moist bread. Now, I am going to give Steve a piece, and I'll take a piece for myself. And I already know what he's going to say about this. I
married her because of this bread.
Yeah. He always tells me he likes my homemade from scratch banana bread the best, but this bread is good as well.
It's crispy on the top. It's soft on the inside. It's almost as dense as a pound cake, but not quite that heavy.
It's very good. So we're going to eat a little bit of this, and then I'll be right back. Well, Steve definitely said he's having some more of this tonight for dessert. So I know that this loaf isn't going to last very long. But if you were wondering why we made so many loaves today, it's because we are going to be taking part in a collaboration for Freeze Dry February. And that collaboration is put on by the Inquisitive Farm Wife. And our first video that we're going to be taking part with is going to be on the 12th of February. And it's going to have something to do with some of these breads that we made today. So make sure you check that out. We'll also be doing another video on the 26th of February for that collaboration as well. Now, if you've ever made friendship bread and you have a favorite recipe that you like to use for your friendship bread starters, make sure you leave it in the comments. I'd love to have some new recipes that I can try, something that's a little bit different. I've got a few things that we're going to give a shot. I think we're going to try a cornbread mix and maybe some muffins. And we'll have to let you know how those come out. But until next time, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.